कलशो श्रीवासराघवगुरोस्तनयं ततश्च विद्यावाप्य विबुधोत्तमतां दधानं कुर्वे सदा हृदि गुरुं करुणाकराख्यं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्मयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि. In the previous lecture, we saw that this Alvar, who had been an incarnation of the divine garland of Bhagavan, due to the Leela, he is seen in the story as going away from the path of Dharma. It is a real story, of course. So we asked, what is the guarantee? If a Nityasuri himself is going to go in the wrong path, what about normal people like us? And we answered it by saying, there are solutions. There are some ways out of the problem. It is not like we are definitely going to go away from Bhagavan. Firstly, we have already gone away. But suppose we develop bhakti, it is not as though we are sure to forget bhakti and move away. There are ways to avoid the problems. Next, we saw what goes behind getting an acharya. Why? Because at the end of the day, you need marga darshana. You need to be shown the correct way. Who is going to show you the correct way? You need an acharya for that. So, if you want an acharya, how do you get one? Some people said, right time the acharya will appear in front of you. Okay, but what is the right time? Some other people said, you go keep searching. Whoever you find, you immediately accept. And if I accept, what is the guarantee that he is authentic? Some other people said, you pray to Bhagavan, assume that Bhagavan is your acharya and do, everything will be fine. But did Bhagavan himself ever say that you can do that? Some people said, you don't need any acharya. Just keep exploring. Be a seeker. But what should I seek? How should I seek? Without knowing what should be sought and how it should be sought, if I call myself as a seeker, will I really be a seeker? I might believe myself to be one, but will I really be a seeker? Yet some other people said, you follow whichever acharya, if they are working, if whatever they are teaching is working for you, it is okay. If you find it to not work, go to some other acharya. Sounds very practical. Correct? So there are so many people saying so many different things. To some extent, each person does have a point. Each of these views does have a point. Why? We say that a person who says you need to take the effort, yes, you need to take the effort, 100%. He is right there. Where he says you don't need an acharya, he is wrong there. What about the person who says, think of Bhagavan as the Acharya? There is nothing wrong in thinking of Bhagavan as an Acharya. He is in fact Prathama Acharya. In the Sri Vaishnava Guru Parampara, we consider Sriman Narayana to be the very first Acharya. All the others came after him. He taught, Sriman Narayana taught Shri Devi. She taught Vishwaksena. Vishwaksena taught Nammalvar. In that way, it got passed on, right? Nammalvar taught Nathamuni. Nathamuni taught his son, Ishwara Muni. Nathamuni had disciples. So, yes, it has passed down in some route. If you look at knowledge of the Dravida Veda, for example. If you look at the Vedas themselves, there also it is Bhagavan who has given us. So no matter how you see, Bhagavan is the Prathama Acharya. So we do not say that the first Guru was Bhagavad Ramanuja. Nor do the Shankaras say that the first Guru was Shankaracharya. The Shankaras say Shankaracharya also had Gurus. He learned from a Guru, that Guru learned from a Guru, and so on. So, Acharya Sambandha is important. Even the divine birth, Bhagavad Ramanuja, was also a Nitya Suri. He was Adi Shesha. Despite being a Nitya Suri, he kept Acharya Sambandha. That teaches the importance of Acharya Sambandha. You need Acharya. Without Acharya, you cannot get moksha. You can master 1000 books on Sri Vaishnavism. You can master 10,000 books on Vishishtadvaitha. You might master not just as book, but you might be the very greatest scholar in the field of Vishishtadvaita itself. Yet you would not get moksha if you do not have an Acharya. So, having an Acharya becomes a foremost requirement. Swami Vedanta Deshika, he praises Bhagavan as Adi Guru. Okay, let that Bhagavan be my Guru as well. What is wrong? I will think of Bhagavan himself as my Guru and start reading the book. No, you will think of Bhagavan as your Guru, but do you know whether you are qualified enough to be Bhagavan's Shishya? It does not work that way. I cannot blindly think, okay, I will think of somebody as my Guru and start doing things as I please. Does this remind you of any story? In Mahabharata, there was Ekalavya. Ekalavya practiced archery, thinking of Dronacharya as his Guru. He had Guru Bhakti, no doubt. But Dronacharya himself was never aware that Ekalavya was practicing. Had Dronacharya really accepted him, it would have been a different story. Ekalavya practiced. Ekalavya became a great archer. But Dronacharya, when he found out, he asked for Guru Dakshina. What is Guru Dakshina? Guru Dakshina is something that the Guru asks for, that the Shishya has to give. Correct? Now, beyond this, let us not look at the story of Dronacharya, because of course what he asked was for the thumb, because of which Ekalavya would not be a superior archer than Arjuna and so on. But let us forget that part. Let us stop at the part where he asks for Guru Dakshina. And Ekalavya agrees, yes, you are my Guru, I am supposed to give you whatever you ask. What do you want? Now, if Bhagavan is your Guru, will Bhagavan come in front of you and tell you, this is what I want, that is what I want? If he comes, then well and good. It means he has really accepted you as a Shishya. But if Bhagavan does not come, what will you do? How do you know what he wants? How do you know what he doesn't want? You know what he wants through the Shastras. Okay, but how do you know the Shastras? I have to study the Shastras. To study the Shastras, I need a guru. I assume that Bhagavan is my guru. But if Bhagavan is my guru, I have to give him Dakshina. Dakshina is something that is going to please Bhagavan. How do I know what is going to please Bhagavan? Through the scripture. But for that scripture, I need a guru. What has happened? An entire circle has been created. It will go round and round. You will never truly be able to understand what Bhagavan wants. You will not be able to be a true Shishya to him. You will not even be able to know whether he is your guru or not. If you are saintly enough, yes, Bhagavan himself might appear. That's a different story. But that is the rarest of the rare case. That is not the general case. We cannot give a specific exception as an advice in the general case. Therefore, we need to get proper acharyas. And guess what? The Shastras also say that we need proper acharyas. Krishna underwent Adhyayana, Rama underwent Adhyayana, all so that we learn, right? So we also need to get an Acharya. Now, what goes behind getting an Acharya? We saw this to some extent in the previous class. Let us see it in greater detail now. This shloka was cited. Ishvarasya cha sauhardam yadricha sukrutam tatha Vishnoh katakshamadvesham abhimukyam cha satvikaihi sambhashanam shadetani hyacharya prapti hetavaha. What are said? Ishvarasya sauhardam. Bhagavan should be pleased. Bhagavan has to be pleased. How do you do that? How do you please Bhagavan? You should have the necessary qualities that will please Bhagavan. Yadricha sukrutam. You should have done some good thing, some punya, at least by chance, which is coming and helping you to get an acharya. So you should have a kind of character that is pleasing to Bhagavan. By nature, if you are by nature evil, would you get a proper sadacharya? Duryodhana was evil by nature. He could not get a sadacharya, correct? Here, when we talk about acharya sambandha, we of course imply sadacharya sambandha. So, if by nature you are going to be evil, if you are not going to do good things, then what? There is no point. Even if you do manage to get an acharya, you will not be able to establish the sambandha properly. Having an acharya is there. Having acharya sambandha is there. Just calling somebody as an acharya is not enough, right? The real sambandha has to be there. Acharya Shishya sambandha. Like what we said, if you call Bhagavan as your acharya, does it mean he is your acharya? Yes, he is indeed the acharya of everybody. But are you his Shishya? So, Ishwarasya Sauhardam, we have to ensure that Bhagavan is pleased. Some character, some quality in us should be of that kind. That takes us towards Acharya Sambandha. But that is not enough. Yadricha Sukrutam. Here, there is the need for having done some punya that is going to help us to get Acharya Sambandha. What is the big deal? You should just do Punya, right? No, no, no. It is not plain Punya. It is Yadruchha Sukrutam. Why is it Yadruchha Sukrutam? Because not every Punya that you do will come and help you to get Acharya Sambandha. By chance, something good that you have done will help you to get Acharya Sambandha. That is why Yadruchha it is written. Vishnoho Kataksham. What is this Vishnoho Kataksham? We discussed this in the previous class. We said it is Jayamana Kataksha. It is Jayamana Kataksha. What is this Jayamana Kataksha? In Mahabharata, it is clearly explained that Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they appear in front of people depending on their karma. Those who are based on their prarabdha karma supposed to live as people with high tamo guna, they would be seen by Lord Shiva. He would ensure that they get that kind of karma and indulge in that kind of behavior. Those who have a greater rajoguna, those who are supposed to have a greater rajoguna, how do they get it? They get it through Brahma's Kataksha. Likewise, what about Sattva Guna? They get it through Vishnu's Kataksha. So, Vishnoho Kataksham, implying that Bhagavan, when you are born, if he comes and sees you, if he gives darshana, Yam Madhusudanaha Pashyet, that person becomes Satvika, Vijnaya, and Mokshartha Chintaka. Satvika Sato Vijnaya, Savai Mokshartha Chintaka. That is how the scriptures have taught us. So, we understand that Vishnu's Kataksha is also necessary. How do I get Vishnu's Kataksha? No, you cannot decide it now. This is Jayamana Kataksha. When you were born, did you get Kataksha? You don't know. It is not under your control. You cannot go travel back in time. You do not know whether you got it or not. Does it mean that you that it never happened? Given that I cannot travel back in time, and given that during that time I did not have any memory. I don't have any memory. I don't know whether he came and saw me. I don't know anything. So how should I take it? Should I assume that he never saw me and behave that way? No. Whether or not he saw me, I should try to be a Satvika. Whether or not he saw me, I should try to be a Vijnaya. Whether or not he saw me, I should try to be a Moksha Artha Chintaka. When we do not know whether he came, oh, I don't know whether Vishnu came or Shiva came. Maybe Shiva only came. That means I should be evil, right? Let me be evil. No. If you think, let me be evil, that is a new bad karma that you are doing. Shiva's appearance would have indicated a sinful life as a result of past sins, not fresh sins. So, we should not try to find excuses there. Rather than finding excuses, rather than saying, oh, maybe Vishnu did not see me, therefore I need not be Satvik. Some people say in that way. Then there are some other people who say, oh, Satvik people are not the need of the hour. If you are Satvik, you will die. We need Rajasic people. We need Rajasic people. People who are strong and bold and who can save the country and everything. Not your calm and peaceful, saintly people. That is a very, very, very wrong understanding. And it is a wrong understanding for several reasons. One reason is that being sattvika has nothing to do with being completely non-violent. Yes, ahimsa is indeed taught, but where is it taught and where is it not taught? We should think about that. Unwarranted violence is wrong. Warranted violence is fine. Let us take today's India itself as an example. If I take a pistol and shoot someone, it will be wrong. Yet, the policeman carries a pistol. How can you give pistols to policemen? Or how can you give rifles to the army soldiers? You don't give it to me, but you give it to them. Why? Because for them it is warranted. The violence that they indulge in is warranted because the army soldier, the soldier shoots terrorists. The soldier shoots enemies who try to come and harm our country. Therefore, it is warranted. So, what makes violence warranted depends on the situation, depends on what is going on, and depends on who you are. As a common man, I cannot go and shoot. As an army man, he can go and shoot. There is a difference between the two, right? So, there is a difference between the two. This difference is what constitutes what counts as warranted and unwarranted. And this is why Rama was Satvik. Rama was a Satvika. Rama went to the forest. He killed Tataka. Correct? Rama went to the Yagashala, the place where the Yaga was conducted. What did he do? He shot arrows on Maricha and Subahu. Rama went to Janasthana. He attacked 14,000 people. Of course, he had to attack them because they attacked him. In this case, attack was defense only. He was defending by shooting and killing them. Rama went to Lanka. He killed Ravana. Yet, we call Rama as a Satvika. Remember this. We say Rama was a Satvika. So, Satvika does not mean that you are totally aloof from the society. Satvika does not mean that you are roaming in the forests. Satvika does not mean that you are a sannyasi. That should be understood. Satvikaha saha vijñeyaha. He has Vishesha Jnana. Which kind of Vishesha Jnana? The Jnana about Bhagavan, Brahma Vidya. Who Bhagavan is? You need Artha Panchaka Jnana, basically. Who is Bhagavan? Who are we? How do we go and attain him? What are the roadblocks that prevent us from attaining him? If we manage to attain him, what would be the phala? When you know these five which are called as Artha Panchakam and have been covered before, you would start thinking and looking forward towards it. As you look forward towards moksha and align your life that way, you would be a moksha artha chintaka. So, thinking about moksha makes you a moksha artha chintaka. Such a person would move along that path and eventually get moksha. For that, what do you need? You need Vishnu Kataksha. How does Vishnu Kataksha take you towards moksha? By being an instrument in getting Acharya Sambandha. By being an instrument that keeps you sattvic. By being an instrument that ensures that, yes, so many people have Acharyas. Even good acharyas sometimes have bad shishyas, but Vishnu Kataksha will ensure that you are a good shishya of the acharya who understands what is taught, and therefore you will become a Vijnaya. So Vishnu Kataksha is very, very, very important in taking you towards moksha. It helps in so many different ways. Advesham. Do not practice dvesha. Do not practice any kind of hatred, not even towards evil people, not even towards evil people. So in Ramayana, there is a shloka where Rama says, Maranantani Vairani, Nirvrittam na Prayojanam. Ravana has died. Rama says, Maranantani Vairani. Enmities end with death. Which enmity is he referring to? The Shri Vaishnavacharya said, Rama never hated Ravana. Rama never hated Ravana, yet he killed him. Why? Because that was dharma. Rama never hated Ravana, even though he killed him. Ravana hated Rama. The hatred that Ravana had was a bad quality. Eventually, Ravana died. When Ravana died, the hatred that Ravana died also died along with him. He himself is not there, then what about his hatred? Rama never hated Ravana. Ravana was adharmic. Ravana hated Rama. But now Ravana was dead. There was no more adharma coming from Ravana. There was no more hatred shown by Ravana. And therefore, Rama felt and expressed love for Ravana, affection for Ravana, the same way that he had shown even before. Bhagavan always loves us. He always loves all of us. We don't realize it. He never hates us. Even when he gives us difficulties, he never hates us. But we might hate him. We might go away. So many things, so many wrong things we might do, like how Ravana did. So you should have advesha. Advesha also does not mean that you do not question wrong. Rama killed Ravana, but not out of hatred for Ravana. That is a very, very, very important thing that we should learn. We should fight for dharma for the sake of dharma and not out of hatred of enemies, not out of a feeling of superiority, not out of a feeling of inferiority of enemies, not out of a feeling of hatred towards enemies. None of that should be there. Those are all bad. Okay, this is in the common context. But when you are developing spiritually as a bhakta, advesha becomes more and more important because no matter which height you have reached, if by chance you show dvesha towards a Bhagavata, you will fall down. It is said all the Sanchita Papas of Bhagavatas go to the people who commit Bhagavatapachara. If you are a Bhagavata and if I cause any mental, verbal, or physical insult to you, all your Sanchita Papa, by the time when you had performed Sharanagati, what do we say? We say when you do Sharanagati, Sanchita Karma disappears, right? All your Sanchita Papa will get added to my karma. On the other hand, on the other hand, if I am to do seva to Bhagavatas, what would happen? If you are a Bhagavata and if I do seva to you, all your Sanchita Punya will come to me. It is not for the sake of Punya that we have to serve them, but at least for the sake of Punya, go and serve them. That is how we say it. So it is very important for us. Hence, we said you need Ishvara Sauharda, you need Yadricha Sukrita. That is Punya. You need Vishnu Kataksha. And then you need Abhimukya and Satvika Sambhashana. We had discussed both of these as well in the previous class. Let us try to see a little more about these two today. Satvikaihi Sambhashanam sounds pretty obvious, right? That sounds pretty obvious. What? You just talk with Satvik people. Isn't that all? No. There is something more. It is not just about talking to them. I think, if I'm not wrong, in the previous class, I cited from Ramayana, where Prabhu Shri Rama, he, during the gaps that he got during training, he would be practicing archery. As a boy, he would be practicing archery. Even during the breaks that he would take, at that time also, he would go and talk to people. Talk to whom? Sajjanas. Sheela Vruddhair, Jnana Vruddhair, Vayo Vruddhaischa Sajjanai. It is said in Valmiki Ramayana. So, in this manner, you have to talk to them. Okay, but what do you get by talking to them? What is the big deal? Hmm? What is the big deal? When you talk to Sattvic people, you have to talk in a Sattvic way. When in a Sattvic way you talk to Sattvic people, you will get from that Satsanga, you will get proper knowledge, you will get proper discipline. Even when your mind tries wandering away, you will be able to bring it back under control and stick to what is really good for you. So, it is very, very, very important for us to indulge with Sattvic people. Narada had done that. He interacted with Sattvic people. By interacting with Sattvic people, we get very great benefits. Who we interact with are going to determine the kind of people we are going to be and also the kind of experiences we are going to have. If you keep interacting with evil people, eventually evil thoughts will enter your mind. If you keep interacting with good people, only good thoughts will come to your mind. It is not just about good thoughts, it is also about faith. Many people lose faith. When things are going well, they don't see any problem. When things go wrong, when some problem happens, at that time, they suddenly lose faith. But if you know plenty of people who have never lost people who have never lost that. I am losing faith, but they are not losing faith. What does it mean? Maybe I am only wrong. He is right, Bhagavan is right. I am the one to blame, not him. So we have to understand that. When we understand it, we will be able to go forward. But for that, we need Sattvika Sambhashana. It is very important. I mentioned the word discipline. This discipline, how do you get? If you know all the rules and if you keep practicing, there are chances that you do. But discipline comes better when you are with the. In modern days, going to the gym is very popular. Let us say a person, but diabetes is also very popular, right? Let us say a person has diabetes. The person is very fat. He is having the risk of heart attack. He has to come out of it. The doctor says, go to the gym. The man says, why should I go to the gym? I will exercise at home. The first day he does exercise. The second day he does exercise. The third day, what happens? He loses motivation. And by losing motivation, he stops doing what needs to be done. A person never lose motivation. You should be motivated at all points of time. And you should be motivated in the right direction. How do you get motivated in the right direction? You get motivated in the right direction either by the grace of God continuously by yourself or by the association with others. Now, a person who goes to the gym, he would see others doing exercise. He would see others are also taking all of that pain and effort to do exercise. Therefore, he would get motivated. In the same way, the bhakta will see other bhaktas. They will also be facing so many difficulties in their lives. Yet they would be remaining as bhaktas. They would be remaining with great devotion. By seeing that, he would get inspired. When you talk to good people, you learn good things. When you talk to good people, you earn good karma. When you talk to good people, your confidence is boosted. So many good things are there in Sattvika Sambhashana. It is quite simple, but often, unfortunately, ignored. A lot of people, a lot of devotees, they themselves would have devotion. They would be practicing properly. They'll be practicing pure vegetarianism. No this, no that. They will be practicing very purely. No smoking, no drinking. Then, one fine day, they would realize that broken. Why? They will say, oh, I was pressurized by my friends. I did not want to smoke, but they pressurized me. I did not want to drink, but they pressurized me. Peer pressure. All of my friends were drinking in that party. I was the only person who was not. Therefore, they convinced me to drink. I drank only once. I will not drink again. That person will think. What will happen? Eventually, the person will drink a second time, third time, fourth time, gone. Why is it happening? Because of the association. So you should associate yourself only with the good people. Okay. What is this abhimukhya? We have not yet seen it. We saw it in the previous class in short, but let us see it today. It is referring to the willingness to learn. You have to learn and improve. The thing is, you please Bhagavan. Okay, Bhagavan is happy. Some punya that you have done in the past that is helping you. Yes, very great. Vishnu Kataksha is there. Okay, very, very great. But if Vishnu Kataksha is there, we have said Satvika Satu Vijnaya Savai Moksha Artha Chintakaha. What about Advesha then? If I have got Vishnu Kataksha, why should I think about other qualities? What if I got Vishnu Kataksha, but I still have Dvesha? I got Vishnu Kataksha, right? I should still get moksha. No, that will not happen. You got Vishnu Kataksha, it means you are going to get moksha. But until you get rid of Dvesha, you will not get Acharya Sambandha. And until you do not get proper Acharya Sambandha, you will not be able to get moksha. So a person who has got Vishnu Kataksha would eventually develop Advesha and would eventually develop Abhimukhya. That Abhimukhya will lead that sattvic person into becoming a Vijnaya. Now, Abhimukhya, Satvikaihi Sambhashanam. Okay, I'm good in behavior, I am having good knowledge, but still, what if due to some other reasons I change and I forget Bhagavan? That shouldn't happen. What prevents it from happening? Sattvika Sambhashana. So, these six help us out. They help you to get to become a disciple of an Acharya. So, the gurus, they would teach about Bhagavan. They would lead it towards Bhagavan. But is having the Acharya going to be enough? Suppose I have an Acharya. Okay, I got Acharya Sambandha. That is enough, right? What is the real process? You have an Acharya. The Acharya teaches you Tattva, Hita, and Purushartha. We have seen Tattvaita Purusharthas before. The Acharya teaches Tattvas, Hitas, and Purusharthas. Then, through that education, you learn more about Bhagavan. As you learn more and more about him, you develop your devotion more and more. Okay, what if you are devoted to Bhagavan but not to your Guru? No, 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 you should be devoted to your Guru. Guru Bhakti is more important than Bhagavad Bhakti. Even a person who does not have Bhagavad Bhakti, if he has Bhakti in his Acharya, the Acharya would eventually lead him towards moksha. Somehow or the other, the Acharya would do it. That is how it works. So, Ghanta Karna is mentioned in Harivamsha. Ghanta Karna was learning directly from Lord Shiva. He had Atyanta Bhakti in Shiva. Yet he did not have Bhakti in Vishnu. What did Shiva do? Shiva ensured that he gets Bhakti in Vishnu. He taught about the glories of Vishnu. He taught about the glories of the moksha granted by Vishnu, this, that. So the Guru, what does he do? Even if you do not have faith in Bhagavan, your Guru will ensure that somehow or the other you attain Bhagavan. That is the greatness of the Guru. So you need Guru Bhakti. Extremely important. If you do not have Guru Bhakti, you will not be a pure Shishya. And if you are not a pure Shishya, you cannot move forward. Bhagavad Bhakti, which is quite obvious. Oh, you just said that even without Bhagavad Bhakti, with Guru Bhakti, everything is possible. No, no, no. Even in those cases, we should understand that eventually, You will get bhakti. In some way or the other, you will get. Maybe you would just get to fall at the feet of Bhagavan, but at least you will fall at the feet of Bhagavan. That is Bhagavad Bhakti. You will get to display Bhagavad Bhakti in some way or the other if you have Guru Bhakti. But okay, therefore, let me wait for Guru Bhakti to give me Bhagavad Bhakti. Let me not bother about Bhagavan. Can I live that way? No. A Guru is also going to teach only Bhagavad Bhakti. He will say, be devoted to Bhagavan. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Govindam, Bhaja Mudhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi nahi nakshati dupran karane. Don't have bhakti in Vyakarana. Vyakarana Shastra will not give you moksha. Samprapte sannihite kale. Who will give you moksha? Govinda will give you moksha. So, Bhaja Govinda Mudhamate. You need devotion in Shastra for you to be a good Shishya. We have seen, right? Shastra Vishwasa Shali. That is necessary to be a good Shishya. So you should have bhakti towards Guru, you should have bhakti towards Bhagavan, you should have bhakti towards the Shastra. When you have bhakti towards the Shastra, you will always try your level best. Do not misquote. Do not say anything and everything that comes to your mind. Speak only through the Shastra. Okay. Let us say I learned about Tattva, Hita and Purushartha. Let us say I got bhakti. Is bhakti enough to give moksha? We have seen this part. What is the difference between bhakti and bhakti yoga? What is the difference between bhakti yoga and prapatti yoga? We have seen this part, right? So we know that just having devotion is not enough. You have to show devotion in a specific way. Devotion towards Bhagavan should be shown in a specific way, in one of the authentic ways, as taught by the Vedic scriptures. So when you choose that path, because all roads might lead to Rome, but all roads do not lead to Bhagavan. If you do not follow bhakti correctly, you will not go to Bhagavan. So you follow correctly with your karma and your jnana. But that is a difficult path. What is the easier path? More practical path in Kali Yuga? Sharanagati. So even if you are doing bhakti yoga, you have to do one Sharanagati inside it. It is called Anga Prapatti. We have seen all of this in detail before. Somehow or the other, Sharanagati will be necessary for you to get moksha. So, if you have an Acharya, yes, it is a very great thing, but try to learn from your Acharya and develop devotion and surrender to Bhagavan. Like how you surrender to your Acharya, you surrender to your surrender to Bhagavan also. When you surrender, you will get the phala. So, having an Acharya is very important. Not everybody can have an Acharya. Today, so many people might say, how is it even possible? It is impossible. We cannot look for these qualities. No, no, no. People look all the time. People look for these qualities all the time. What should we do so? We should have Acharya Sambandha. We should learn what is necessary, the Artha Panchaka that is. Then we should develop Bhakti. We should do Sharanagati. That will complete the process. Now, there are some examples of Sharanagati, but I think these are going to be a little longer. It would be better for us to see these in the next class. So for now, I will conclude here with the point that, yes, Acharya Sambandha is there. There are people who had Acharya Sambandha, who did not learn properly. To them, what happened? Because they had Acharya Bhakti, Acharya ensured that they also proceed. There are people who learned from Acharya. but did not have devotion in Acharya. What about those people? As they did not have devotion in Acharya, they did not move forward. There are those people who had an Acharya and who had performed Sharanagati to Bhagavan by the grace of Bhagavan and that Acharya. What about them? They will get moksha. So, education and devotion. Remember, education is not 100% necessary to get moksha. There are some people who do not try to get educated, but somehow or the other, no knowledge comes to them because of their great karma of the past. Then there are some people who learn everything but become egoistic or then turn to the path of adharma. Devotion, however, is mandatory. You should have devotion in the Guru, you should have devotion in Bhagavan. You should have devotion in the entire Guru Parampara. If you have that, you have the ability to move forward. If you don't have, then you don't have. That's it. Is this clear? Please let me know if there is any question, if there is any doubt that you have.
I have doubt. Sorry. Uh, the doubt is like even one does an apachara from the mental level, like from the inside level, he have done some apachara to Vaishnava. Is that been also counted as an apachara?
Also Bhagavata Pachara only. Yes.
Oh,
Uh, that is why I said by thoughts, words, or actions, right? I mentally, verbally, or physically, I had said
okay.
in today's class.
Okay.
Even if you
Uh,
do something in mentally, not necessarily physically, it would still count as sinful. In the story of Swami Vedanta Deshika, there is an example. There was a very scholarly Vaishnava. His Shishyas insulted Swami Deshika. Therefore, he suffered. There are people who do not even do any physical harm, but mentally think of harm for such great Bhagavatas. What happens? Such people suffer. They intend mental harm to Bhagavatas. If you go to the court today, the court would say encouraging to do a crime is a bigger crime than the actual crime, correct? Encouraging to do murder is a bigger crime than actually murdering, something like that it will say.
hmm,
What is that encouragement? It is a mental thing, right? You are mentally thinking, oh, this person should be killed, this person should be destroyed, or this person should suffer, something like that. And you're thinking that way about a Bhagavata. If you think that way about a Bhagavata, what will happen? You will get Bhagavata Pachara. Bhagavata Pachara is basically any sin committed physically, mentally, or maybe just through words to a Bhagavata. So if you speak rude words to a Bhagavata, you will get Bhagavata Pachara. If you think in your mind, I did not speak those words, but in my mind I thought that way, then also you will get Bhagavata Pachara. What is the cure for Bhagavata Pachara? You go to that very Bhagavata and fall at his feet and seek forgiveness. That is the cure. There is no other cure. Going to Bhagavan, oh, I insulted this guy too much, but now I have an ego problem. I cannot go to him and say sorry. because I have ego problem. I don't want to say sorry to him. Bhagavan is superior to him, right? I will say sorry to Bhagavan. No, it will not work. My own Acharya. Let me say sorry to my own Acharya. No, it will not work. Shri Tirtha can solve every single problem, right? Let me drink the Shri Tirtha of my Acharya. Well, if you are pure, you will first think of apologizing to the person you insulted. Even the Shri Tirtha, if it is consumed with a different kind of intention in mind, yes, it would still give the phala, that is a different thing. But the level of any phala that you get is going to depend on the extent of faith that you have. And the level of any phala that you get is going to depend on the intention as well. So good phalas come to people. See, Kamsa said Krishna, Krishna. Kamsa said Krishna, Krishna. Our Krishna Bhaktas also say, great Acharyas, they have also said Krishna, Krishna. What is the difference? By saying Krishna, Kamsa got good phala, but it was much lesser than what great saints got when they said Krishna, Krishna. Is it clear?
Yes. There was another doubt also.
Hmm.
Uh, the doubt is like, uh, if uh, at the time of Jivatma when matlab, when Jivatma get the body, before getting the Jivatma into the samsara, is the Jivatma himself chooses the karma he have to experience in that in that life, or the Bhagavan chooses the karma of that Jivatma.
Which Jivatma? Pure Sharanagata or someone else?
Someone else, like if someone is getting into samsara,
You never get to choose. That is chosen randomly. Prarabdha karma is selected randomly for you to experience.
thank you.
You do not get to choose. It is not like before you are born, they show you, you have done 60 punyas and 40 papas. Which ones would you like to carry with you to your next life? And then you pick and select and you take a birth like that. It never happens that way. Some number of those punyas and some number of those papas will start giving you the effect. The others will be staying in reserve as sanchita karma. You can never truly decide what you want.
I got it, son. Thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah, Acharya, this is Arun this side.
Okay.
Yeah, Acharya, you said this extreme tamas is Shiva,
No,
and
I did not say that.
I mean
When
okay.
extreme tamas is Shiva, please go through the recording later. Do not
No,
twist
no,
my.
sorry. I think I misunderstood. Like you said, you somehow connected tamas
I
to
said Shiva will ensure that a person who has lots of tamu
tamas.
due to his prarabdha karma
Huh.
will live his life that way and suffer.
Shiva and Brahma will be Rajas, and
Shiva is
Vishnu
the
will be.
Lord. Shiva is the Lord who is in charge of tamo guna.
Ah,
Take
okay, okay,
pralaya for example.
okay, okay.
When
That way.
pralaya
Ah,
happens, what happens? What is the sthiti there? It is tamas only.
correct, correct.
He
See,
is in charge of that. The person,
go.
Shiva does not make the person evil, just it is not Shiva's duty to randomly make a good person evil. Shiva comes
Ah,
in front of the person who is already having a lot of bad prarabdha karma, that to that kind of prarabdha karma that is going to make him to do evil acts further. Remember that. For example,
okay.
Duryodhana was evil from the beginning.
Huh.
He was not a good person initially who after the age of 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 suddenly became evil. He was evil from the beginning. Why? Because of his prarabdha karma.
Okay.
In his past life, he had willingly done evil, because of which by nature itself he became evil now. So people who are to become evil or who are to live extremely lazy lives doing nothing, Tamoguna is associated with evil and laziness, inaction basically. Inaction in the case of humans is called laziness.
Yes.
So Shiva will ensure that these things will come.
Okay. And
That is
yeah,
that did not say extreme tamas is Shiva. Okay, that is very wrong.
wrong.
Krishna
Yes.
says
Sorry.
in
I am
Bhagavad Gita,
extremely sorry. I misunderstood.
Yajante Satvika Devan. This is said in the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. He says, Yajante Satvika Devan Yaksharakshamsi Rajasaha Pretan Bhutagananshyanye Yajante Tamasa Janaha.
Okay.
Yajante Satvikaha Devan, it is said. Therefore, even if you worship Indra, Indra is not supposed to be considered to be a tamasic deity or anything like that. Remember, we
Okay.
usually whenever we hear about Indra, we hear about Indra doing some wrong and then suffering. But that does not mean that Indra by nature is also the
Okay.
tamasika. Okay.
Okay. And one more question, Asharji. See, like we say Prarabdha, Sanchita, Agami, all these. Okay, these are the storages of our past patterns of the lives. We take birth and we do some karma. Some karma becomes some memory, some kind of a memory. Correct? So that's what we classify as a Prarabdha, Sanchita, or whatever we call it as.
See, there is a sum total. That in that sum total, one
Ah,
portion, one small portion comes to us now. The remaining
ah,
portion is saved for
right.
whatever
So,
is saved is whatever has
ah,
started coming to us is prarabdha.
correct. So that my little kind of, I don't know, kind of a logical question is, see, when you have a computer, you write something and you, in that keyboard, you press Alt and Control and yes, it gets saved. Correct. So that way, is there a formula where, because I don't decide which has to become what memory?
Why should you decide? That is for Bhagavan. That system is already there. You are inside it. Remember, even the
See how should I get rid of these things? Like if I don't know where the memory is stored, how will I
see, I
delete
will tell
it?
you.
Is it not my right to know where the memories are stored and
No,
I
it is
put
not
my
your right to
efforts to
know.
delete?
It is not your right to know. I will tell you why. If it had been your right, you would have already known. Some people have the right, and those people already know.
If some people can get the right, then why can't I get the right?
Because those some people lived the right way. Simple.
No, why can't I live the right way?
You live the right way. No, who is stopping?
That's what I'm telling you. Like then it becomes my right to know it.
You live the right way. You do Sharanagati Moksha. After that, you will know every single thing about the past. No, see, Sanchita gets
Ah.
cancelled at once. The amount of karma that is selected for Prarabdha is small. The amount of karma that is waiting for the future as Sanchita is huge. That huge Sanchita gets cancelled at once when you perform Sharanagati. I don't have to know how many people I killed. I don't have to know how many people I saved. If I say, Hey Bhagavan, save me, and I surrender to him, all of my karma will vanish. When you are saying I should know about how much good karma and how much bad karma is there, what will you be able to do by knowing? Let us say you know. Let us say you meet a very great astrologer. See, astrology can tell you about prarabdha karma. They cannot tell you about astrology cannot tell about sanchita karma. Okay. Jyotisha Shastra can talk about prarabdha, but not about sanchita. Yet maybe it can tell that okay, in your immediately previous life this is what you were doing, but prarabdha is not based on your immediate previous life. It is randomly taken. Some amount of that karma would have come from some number of lives even before that. There is no guarantee. But let us say you know all the karmas that you have done. Does it going to change you? Is it going to change you? Is it going to automatically take you to the right path? No, nothing like that. I'll give you a very simple example. Okay. You
Yes.
look at these cigarette ads. On the packet of cigarette, it is written smoking is injurious to health.
Yes.
Every smoker has read it. Every smoker has read it. Every smoker who smokes cigarettes already knows that smoking is injurious to health. So knowing still does not help them. Why? Knowing has helped me. I never had to ever smoke because I saw in childhood itself that it is injurious to health. I never had to go near it. But the person who is smoking, he also knows that it is injurious to health. And he is still going and smoking. What does it mean? It means that knowledge is not a guarantee of correct action. Knowledge of the past is not a guarantee of appropriate action. Get it?
Yeah.
Plenty of people who know about their past might continue. Oh, I lived that way in the past. Let me continue living that way. This is my inherent nature. So, what if I start arguing? Let us say I find out about my past. I find out that I'm a sinner. You might think, oh, I will regret. Veeraraghavacharya is going to regret for being a sinner and he is going to lead a good life. But no, what if I say, in the past also I have been like this? Maybe it is my inherent nature. Let me continue that way. Then what? So, what matters is the present. You do not have control over the past, and future has never come. The future will change based on what you do at present.
See, the moment you say present, it has become past.
Yeah. So what?
Then I'm not in the present at all. See, I
No.
said I present. The present has already become a past now because it is so fractional. The present is so
But another
fractional.
present came. No. There are so many fractions of present. No.
That's why it is so milliseconds. Present is like, I don't know, like whether there is a
You call it
present.
a millisecond, microsecond, whatever, very small fraction of time. That is what you're trying to imply. But there are millions and millions of fractions of time. Remember that.
Okay.
The present that is there today, as I said, present, that present went away. But now there is some other present. There will be more. There will be another present tomorrow. After one day, I will see another present. After 2 days, there will be some other present. Correct? You have
I
millions
know.
and millions of those small instances of time. Collectively, that is long. Several years are there. If you are living a life of 100 years, maybe 50 years go away in sleep. Maybe some other 30 years also go away. At least more than a decade, at least 15, 20 years, you would be having to actually do something. Right? I mean, of course, today people don't even live for 100 years. But my point is very simple. Rama says, Sakrudeva prapannaya tabasmiti cha yachate. Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadamyetat vratam mama. You do Sharanagati, you do it just once, but if you do it right, he will grant you moksha. That is all there is. So, as I said, present itself, the present went away. Yes, but there is another present right now, no? Use the collection of these present.
Correct.
Use the collection, do it well. Now I will do good. Next present I will do good. Some other present I will do good. I couldn't do anything. I barely started it. Before that itself, that instant disappeared. Yes, but you do a fraction of that work. Maybe your work takes 30 days. In 30 days, maybe there are 30 billion presents.
Correct.
But that means your one task, which is having 30 billion presents, you do a 30 billionth of that at this present. That's all there is. Okay. There is no need to calculate in this way. The scripts has already said, you do this. I don't have to keep thinking, oh, how many seconds have gone? How many seconds are left? No, there is no point in thinking about that. If Bhagavan wants, he can give me a longer life. If Bhagavan wants, he can reduce my life. And he is not going to do it as he pleases. How he is going to behave is going to depend on how I am going to behave. Remember that.
Yeah, Acharya. I would such a huge like got solved in my mind. Always I used to get stuck with this question. The moment because I don't have that wisdom to, you know, get into so deeper that there can be a. Actually, I'm living in present only. Like, see, millions of present moments becomes my life. It means I'm in present always. If I can think that way.
Yes,
Now you have given me
yes.
the different dimension of
Now
present.
you understood.
Yeah, I love Acharya ji for this. Like, I don't know, from last 2, 3 weeks, I used to keep my time to listen to you, but somehow I don't know, something used to come. I used to be there with the mobile, but I never used to attend your class. I don't know, like, this is my prarabdha or this is my punyas I have done. I used to miss these things. Today, right now, I'm in a marriage, but I made myself sure that no, today I'm going to attend this. So I don't know, it is like that. See, by attending this, such a huge question which was lingering, it was haunting me. And I don't know how to express it out. My whole body is feeling that relief. Thank you very much, Acharya.
Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you.
Let us conclude here.
Yes.
With that, I'm happy and Veeraraghavacharya Vedanta.